There is a kind of power that does not demand attention. It does not threaten, chase, argue, or beg. And strangely enough, it is often the kind of power people feel the strongest. If you have ever wondered why someone who says less can sometimes command more respect, the answer may have less to do with control, and far more to do with self-control. Arthur Schopenhauer understood something uncomfortable about human beings. We are rarely moved by pure reason. We are moved by desire, emotion, ego, insecurity, and the fear of losing what we think we possess. That is why trying to force someone to listen to you often produces the exact opposite result. The more desperately you demand attention, the less valuable your words become. Think about a relationship. You ask your girlfriend to do something. She ignores you. You repeat yourself. She still ignores you. So you become louder, then frustrated, then angry. Suddenly, what began as a simple request becomes a battle over power. And now neither of you is listening. This is where most people make their first mistake. They believe influence comes from pressure. It doesn't. Real influence begins when the other person does not feel that they are being controlled. Schopenhauer's view of human nature was deeply pessimistic, but that pessimism contained an important insight. Human beings are driven by what they want. We protect our pride. We defend our freedom. We resist anything that makes us feel smaller. So when you try to control someone, their instinct may not be to cooperate. Their instinct may be to resist you. This is why the strongest person in a relationship is not necessarily the person who wins every argument. It is often the person who does not need to win. There is a huge difference between making someone obey you and becoming someone whose words carry weight. One is control, the other is influence. And if you confuse the two, you can destroy the very relationship you are trying to strengthen. Imagine your girlfriend disagrees with you. The insecure reaction is immediate. You interrupt her. You explain yourself again. You raise your voice. You demand that she understand your side. But what happens next? She becomes defensive. Now you are both fighting to prove that you are right. A stronger response is surprisingly simple. Listen, not because you are weak, because you are disciplined enough to understand before you react. Silence can reveal information that anger hides. When you stop filling every second with explanations, you begin to notice what the other person is actually saying. You notice patterns. You notice contradictions. You notice emotions beneath the words. And most importantly, you stop giving your emotions control over your behavior. This is one of the darkest truths about human relationships. People often respect boundaries more than arguments. You can explain the same boundary 20 times and receive no respect. Or you can calmly state it once and follow through. That difference is enormous. Suppose your girlfriend repeatedly disrespects an agreement between you. The weak response is to threaten her every night and then tolerate the same behavior the next morning. The strong response is different. You calmly explain what you will and will not accept. Then you act consistently. No screaming, no revenge, no manipulation, no dramatic performance, just consequences. Because a boundary without consequences is not really a boundary. It is a request, and this is where silence becomes powerful. Silence does not mean giving someone the cold shoulder to punish them. It does not mean ignoring your partner to make her anxious. That is manipulation disguised as strength. Real silence is different. It is the ability to pause before speaking because you do not need to react to every emotion. You are not trying to make her suffer. You are refusing to let anger decide your behavior. That distinction separates emotional strength from emotional games. Schopenhauer believed that much of human conflict comes from people pursuing their own desires while imagining that they are acting purely rationally. And relationships are full of this. You think you are arguing about dishes, messages, friends, money, or plans. But underneath the argument may be something completely different. Respect, security, attention, fear, pride, the desire to feel important, the desire to feel free. The person who understands this begins to see relationships differently. Instead of asking, how do I make her do what I want? You start asking a much more powerful question. Why does she resist? That question changes everything. Maybe she feels controlled. Maybe she feels unheard. Maybe your request is reasonable, but your delivery makes it feel like a command. Maybe she disagrees with you because she genuinely sees the situation differently. Or maybe you have discovered a deeper incompatibility that no amount of persuasion can solve. And this is a truth many people refuse to accept. You cannot make another adult become the person you want them to be. You can communicate, you can persuade, you can set boundaries, you can walk away, but you cannot manufacture genuine willingness. The moment you understand this, you become less desperate. And strangely, that makes you more influential. Because desperation has a smell. People can feel when you desperately need their approval. They can feel when you are terrified of losing them. They can feel when your entire emotional stability depends on whether they agree with you. And when someone realizes that you cannot tolerate disagreement, they gain enormous power over you. So the first person you need to control is not your girlfriend. It is yourself. Control your temper. Control your need for validation. Control your impulse to send another message. Control the urge to prove yourself. Control your jealousy. Control the fantasy that if someone truly loves you, they will always do exactly what you want. Love does not eliminate individuality. In fact, healthy love requires it. A relationship where one person must always obey the other is not a relationship built on strength. It is a hierarchy built on fear. And fear eventually creates resentment. Perhaps that is the hidden lesson behind the title. You do not make someone listen by becoming more controlling. You make your words more powerful by becoming more grounded. Speak clearly. Say what you mean. Do not hide your expectations behind passive aggression. Do not test your partner. Do not create jealousy just to see whether she cares. Do not threaten to leave every time you lose an argument. And never use affection as a weapon. These tactics may produce short-term compliance, but they destroy long-term trust. A person can obey you and still stop loving you. A person can say yes and secretly become emotionally distant. A person can remain beside you while mentally preparing to leave. That is why obedience is such a poor measure of relationship strength. The better measure is this. Can two people disagree without trying to destroy each other? Can you say no without being punished? Can she say no without being punished? Can both of you express uncomfortable truths without fear? If the answer is yes, there is strength in the relationship. If the answer is no, then control is already replacing intimacy. And there is another uncomfortable lesson. Sometimes the reason your girlfriend does not listen is not because you lack authority. It is because you have not earned credibility. If you constantly make promises and break them, your words become cheap. If you demand honesty while hiding things yourself, your words become hypocritical. If you demand respect while insulting her during arguments, your words become meaningless. People do not only listen to what you say, they listen to what your behavior repeatedly proves. Your character speaks before your mouth does. This is why consistency is more powerful than intensity. Anyone can act confident for 5 minutes. Anyone can shout. Anyone can make a dramatic threat. But can you remain calm when you are angry? Can you keep your word when nobody is watching? Can you walk away from an argument instead of saying something cruel? Can you admit when you are wrong? Can you remain emotionally stable when the person you love disagrees with you? That is strength. And strength creates a different kind of influence. There is a reason calm people can feel intimidating without trying. They are difficult to manipulate. They do not react instantly. They do not reveal every insecurity. They do not need to dominate every conversation. They observe. They think. Then they act. This does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming difficult to provoke. And perhaps this is one of the most valuable lessons Schopenhauer's philosophy can offer modern relationships. You will suffer when you expect other people to behave according to your desires. You will suffer when you believe love gives you ownership. You will suffer when you confuse attention with loyalty. You will suffer when you try to eliminate every uncertainty through control. Because human beings are unpredictable. Desire changes, feelings change, circumstances change. And the harder you try to control everything outside yourself, the more fragile you become. But when you build control over yourself, something changes. Your peace no longer depends completely on someone else's behavior. You can love someone without possessing them. You can disagree without becoming enemies. You can set a boundary without becoming cruel. And you can walk away without trying to destroy the person who disappointed you. That is a form of power most people never develop. The power to leave without revenge, the power to speak without shouting, the power to remain silent without manipulation, the power to hear no without collapsing, the power to say no without hatred, and the power to accept that sometimes the person you love simply will not choose what you would choose. That last one may be the hardest, because sometimes the answer is not better persuasion. Sometimes the answer is acceptance. Maybe your girlfriend will never agree with you. Maybe she will never change a behavior you dislike. Maybe the two of you want different lives. At that point, trying harder to control her will not create love. It will only create conflict. The mature question becomes, can I accept this relationship as it actually is, rather than as I wish it were? That question can hurt. But truth often hurts before it liberates. So if you want your words to carry more weight, stop trying to make people obey you. Become someone whose actions make his words believable. Speak less when anger is high. Listen more when emotions are complicated. Set boundaries without threats. Give advice without demanding obedience. Ask instead of command. Persuade instead of pressure. And when someone chooses differently from you, remember that disagreement is not automatically disrespect. Sometimes it is simply individuality. The deepest form of power is not making another person smaller so you can feel bigger. It is becoming so secure within yourself that you no longer need to dominate anyone. Because the moment you stop needing control, you become harder to control. And the moment you stop begging to be respected, you begin behaving in a way that naturally earns respect. Never forget this. You cannot force genuine love. You cannot command genuine respect, and you cannot control another human being without eventually paying a price for it. But you can control your words, your reactions, your standards, your choices, your attention, your boundaries, and ultimately, yourself. That is where real power begins. Not with someone saying yes because they are afraid to say no, but with someone saying yes because they genuinely want to. And if the only way you can keep someone beside you is by controlling them, then you have already lost the thing you were trying so desperately to keep. Because love is not measured by obedience. It is measured by freedom freely given. And sometimes the strongest thing you can ever say is not "do what I say." It is simply, I know what I will accept. I know who I am. And I will not betray myself just to make someone stay.